I'm going back now, trying to locate myself. If I come to the middle of this bridge, am I really at the middle of anything? Right now I'm in Quebec, whatever that means. And as I cross over some imaginary boundary, I will enter Ontario. Wow. Both of them are in Canada. Wow. They're in North America. Whoa. What does that mean in terms of Turtle Island and indigenous areas sacred to the people of these regions and their history? I don't know. There's much to learn. But maybe some of my friends could help me, direct me in some ways. Anyway, I can just say it's beautiful here. Oh, wow. That is an eagle that just caught a fish. But the camera was not ready. How do you like that, eh? What a sight. Oh, might get lucky. At least we know they fish here. Okay, here we are on the bridge, and I'm looking basically east. And let's do a panorama here. So there's 4 directions we want to look at. That's the east. Let's turn slowly. And this will be basically north. And that would be basically west. And now we are looking almost due south. So round again. So somewhere in this area, you can see evidence of the Chats Falls Dam. More interesting to me is around about this direction, we'll be looking towards the area of Kuyan. There is a cable-drawn ferry that crosses near there. That is where Carmel has some land with her teepee and practices art with Patsy and invites many others. Invited me up a few times to participate. And this leads to the Quebec side. In that region of the Bristol mine remnants. Why this bridge was built, to extract from the earth. And of course the river itself was used for logging. Indeed, the road that approaches the south end of the railway tracks that lead to this bridge, that road is called Loggers Way. So, we have mass extraction and deforestation of lumber. We have mining, and in the distance, we have hydroelectric extraction of the power of water for electricity, which leads to all other types of technological mechanization and accelerated consumption and extraction. So, what is this bridge? It's pleasant to stand on and look out, but what does it mean? It certainly is a bridge to the past. It's a bridge between cultures. Now it's a bridge between 2 settler-defined land ownership areas. The border between Ontario and Quebec run between this, in the middle of this river, between these shorelines. Indeed, that's antithetical to indigenous people's idea of sharing the land, no one being able to own it, using land and returning it to its original state, treating the land and all the animals and the water with respect, the air with respect, even the rocks and minerals with respect, respecting the totality and interconnectedness of all of these living and non-living things, these non-living things which can help give life to us. So the bridge has many meanings to me. As a metaphor, it also is huge to connect the past, the present, and the future. It connects different cultures, and we, as Mark Carmel Whittle has said in the No Borders Project, the idea of the No Borders Project was to eliminate borders and build bridges between people and cultures, to gain a commonality and universal understanding about the Mother Earth and about all the creatures on it and about all of the constituent parts of it which lead to life. So the bridge is also a metaphor for education and learning. So I see it as a personal bridge to my colleagues in the Keon region, and at the work we did in the Ottawa region with art and reaching out, and indeed with communications and the internet, the bridges we've built have reached further. We have made contacts with people in other provinces. We made contacts and formed relationships with people in other countries, London, England, Scotland, Alberta, New Zealand, Australia. So we have found like-minded people who are interested in the environment, in indigenous justice, rights, and sovereignty, in learning about indigenous culture and indigenous wisdom. And we found people who are interested in practicing art that has meaning for these social justice issues and human issues, that art should not just be a commodity or a pretty object or a commercial item to be traded. They believe that, and these artists believe that art involves meaning and social education, and in some cases even action. And when I see the results and successes that Carmel and Patsy have done to create communities of artists investigating and representing these issues, and to see particularly recently how Patsy has formed an organization to instruct youth in indigenous culture and heritage and art forms. Wow, their successes have been great, and I'm only so grateful and humbled to be for them to let me in a little bit to what was going on and teach me some things. So I could say more about the bridge, and I will in writing, but right now I'm just off the cuff, so I'm looking at the river. Okay, let me take this handheld now, move around, looking now to the west. It's such a beautiful view, getting off that tripod. I'll just rest this carefully. So the river, well, there are people who say water is life. Christy Belcourt has made some beautiful silkscreen images to be used for protest purposes, for education purposes, for knowledge purposes. And water is life is the main theme. So we see water as providing life to living creatures, plants and animals. We see it facilitating life through transportation and we need to drink it, we can travel on it, We can fish from it. We can collect kelp, seaweed, all kinds of foodstuffs. We can cool ourselves in it. We can bathe in it. We can simply listen to it. And as people have remarked, we are conceived in water in our mother's amnion, and we must seek it to survive. And we find solace in its gentle sounds. We also know its tremendous power. Anyone who's been at the sea or who's been through the tremendous rapids on these rivers know the force and strength of it. It can cut through rock, and it could upend your canoe and end your life. But basically, it gives life. Then people talk about water itself as being H2O. Well, I don't think I've ever seen any water on this planet that is simply H2O. Water itself not only provides life, it is alive itself. Not only in its movements, but all of the complex systems that live within it, which provide for self-cleansing of the water and oxygenation of the water. It's the lifeblood of our planet, lifeblood of us. Just as blood can clean itself and be oxygenated, so can water. But not when some elements or effluents or pollutants are allowed to besmirch its character. Wow, this camera wouldn't do it, but I'm just trying to capture some of the birds that have been fishing here. We saw an eagle earlier catch a fish. I can see some geese in the water in the distance. I just saw a small hawk pass over. Of course, there are some gulls, and there have been other birds along the way. This looks like a good fishing ground for them. There are some shallows and rocks, and the current, obviously, very nutritious area for the fish, and the birds know that. Yep, there goes that hawk circling. Might be a young osprey. Can't really tell. Don't have the binoculars. Anyway, I'm going to move along. I'll pause this now.